Good day. Welcome to this lecture series in Godot.
Hello, good day. Welcome back. In this lecture, we will learn how to apply continuous force to our player rigid body using process functions and the apply force functions. So let's get started. So let's start the game. So we have the senior level one. Let's press play. We see at the start of the game, player one's movement is moving up. That's because we are applying an impulse, just applying a force of 25. So I just close off the game right here. Now this could work, yes, but apply impulse does not apply a continuous force. It applies one force and eventually, like let's say that force will stop. So I mean we want to apply a continuous force. So let's look at its reference page. So we are going to hold on Control on the keyboard and we're going to click Apply Impulse, and that will take us to the reference page. That's it right here. And as you can see here, it is telling us that apply impulse should only be used when we want to simulate a one-time impact. I'll go back. Let's apply impulse here. Another problem, I don't know if you might have noticed this, but the ready function is only called once. So we're going to use a new function called process. Come down, next function. You can now see we can have to put in delta, colon here. So the process is also a special type of function, just like ready, and this will be called by Godot as well. So we don't have to call this function. This function will be called by Godot. So what you will realize that anytime you have a function and there's like an underscore here before its name, it usually means that this is a special kind of function that can be called by Godot. It takes in an argument called delta, and this function will be called in each frame of our game. So I'm sure you have heard about the term called FPS, frames per second. Games have frames per second. So in a single frame, physics is being simulated, sprites are being drawn, all the game logic is being run. And frames per second signify how fast the game is running. So you can see if you have a fast computer, you are likely to have a fast frames per second. And likewise, if you have a slow computer, you are likely to have a slow FPS. So sometimes the frames per second could be fixed to the refresh rate of the monitor, and that's called VSync. So by default, Godot has VSync on. So if we make a change and type print, processing, and if we run, so go on here and press play, and if you can see by the output tab here, you just keep seeing processing over and over, it keep appearing, it keep appearing for every frame. So we know this is working. And when we go to this icon here, press run. So this icon here, it would show how much time this is being called, how much time this processing is being run. And we're getting so many because this is being called 60 times per second. So I'll close up this. What I will do is I'll call the engine class. So I'll highlight this here. Engine dot on get frames per second, select this. Yes. So you see, I wanted to call this and rather than having to type it, Godot gives me a hint about what to put, so it's very useful. So what we just called here was the engine class. So let's go ahead and let's run this. So the window open up, and you can see after a brief delay we got 60 frames per second. If we go back up, got one, was one, then 24, then we went up to 60. So I'll close it off now. I'll close the gate now. So let's now go and turn off VSync, and with VSync turned off, this should go up. So I'll go to project settings, I'll go to window. This should go to our area settings mark VSync. Alright, so click it here. Let's click disable and let's click close. Now let's press play. You see how large the number is getting? So because we turned off the VSync, there was no cap on the frames per second and went up high to this very large number, but now I put back the cap on the VSync. So we established that the process function can do something continuously in our game. So now let's do the apply force. So what I'll do, I'll go down here, press this, the number sign, comment this out, and let's type apply force. You can see we get a hint here. Apply force. I'll click Control, then left click to see how this works. Apply force. Okay. Applies a position force to the body. The force is time dependent and meant to be applied every physics update. So basically, you need to give this a vector 2. So let's go ahead and do that. So type vector 2. Let's put 10, 1. So I just delete the colon here. You know what? I'll make this be 0. I'll do like the same example, 25, 1, 25, 0, I mean. I will turn this to comment, copy and type pass, because if I don't put a pass here, so once I come out this will not run. I have to put a pass because if I don't put a pass, you'll get an error, it will be a problem. So let's run the game. And you can see the player moving it. Player just took off. Keep moving until it went off screen, so it's working. So we just saw just now there. Let's open that game. We are applying a continuous force for every frame in the game. So one thing you need to note that apply force, this apply force here is a physics function, and it is possible to apply a special function called a physics process. Could just highlight this here, come down, Control V, physics process. So I can see this wants an underscore, so I'll put an underscore. So this looks almost identical to the other function there, other pass here. So you know what? Let's put the pass up here. And let's put this down here. So what I'll do, I'll delete the pass. I will go to here, select Alt and press down. So that's how to bring down lines of code. And yeah, I'll run this. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if you press Control then left click, We see applies force. You can see it is time dependent and meant to be applied for every physics update. So let's go back here. So it should be applied with this here, the physics process. Let's press play. Now I showed you how to use the applied force in this lecture. So that was the objective for this lecture. So I'll end this video here. Thank you.